right, welcome back to Business Owners Speak. Today, I'm thrilled to have with us Ron Greenfield from Partners Edge. Ron, how are you today?
Great. Having a great day.
Happy to hear that, and thank you so much for taking the time to tell us a little bit about you, your business, and your journey of becoming a business owner. So if you could tell us a little bit about you and Partners Edge, and then we'll kind of go backwards to how everything started.
Well, Partners Edge is a lead generation company based in Florida, but we do basically have a national network. Heavily involved with insurance, heavily involved in helping with automobile accidents and finding the right attorneys and assisting people, basically in finding the right insurance with the right fit with individualized, personalized care. And I've been doing that for about 2 years, but the company itself has been in existence almost 20 years and really kind of sets the standard for lead generation in this industry.
Okay, so when you say lead generation, you're creating leads for attorneys and insurance companies. Is that accurate?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right. So we might drive those people right to a landing page where they can fill out information, and then someone will contact them and work with them in order to get them the product that they're looking for that's really designed for them versus a kind of cookie cutter approach.
Okay.
It allows them to really individualize what they're looking for, not just with the insurance, but also with an attorney, the type of attorney they're looking for, and whether it's personal injury or an auto accident.
Okay. So you mentioned 2 years. What were you doing prior to that?
Well, I've been involved in healthcare as well as my partner and I owned a fitness facility up in the New York area, and I did that for about 20 years and really specialized in women's lacrosse and some men's lacrosse. And we were very fortunate enough to have several national championships and train probably some of the top lacrosse coaches in the country today.
Oh, wow. That's great. All right. And so been a business owner a long time and understands the good stuff and the bad stuff. What led you to Partners Edge?
Well, I've always had it, and I'm a strong believer that whether you're an actual owner of a company, it's the mindset, do you act like an owner? Are you the type person that's counting their hours, or are you the type person that's looking to see what did you gain from that day? So I've always been that, whether I was an employee or whether I then invested into various businesses. So for me, if I was going to act like an owner and have skin in the game, as far as I was concerned, I might as well be able to reap some of the benefits as well. Sure. So it's always been advantageous for me.
Yeah, and those are the kind of people you want to find as an owner, right? That want to work for you, but actually take that ownership mindset. Tough to find, but can be very valuable for the team.
And tough to find, but also, in all fairness, it was the person who then spotted and invited me in to become a partner, I think is as valuable as anything that I would have had to offer, that they saw that I had that type mentality, saw that it was better for the company as well as better for the individual to not limit it to a salary, but really be in a producer parish. And that's what an ownership position is. If you're not producing, you'll perish, and it's about your work effort.
Yeah, very true. All right. So as far as Partners Edge goes, walk us through kind of how the relationship with clients and with incoming business works. What's the funnel look like?
Well, Partners Edge had also started as an affiliate marketing. And so there was approximately 1,500 affiliate partners through internationally, not just within the USA. And what they would do is at that point, promote certain offers. We were very heavily involved in payday loans and personal loans at one point, saw a shifting in that business, and then basically trying to get the consumer, number one, so it is a B2C operation, to be able to go to a website, be able to give their information, and then get the answers they're looking for. but it's also equally a B2B because we work with lead generation companies and establish a reciprocal, mutually profitable relationship with those associates. So I would say between B2B and B2C, it's almost a 60-40 split.
Okay. So as a consumer, what would drive me to your website? What need would I have that would land me on your website?
Well, especially in these economic times, you're looking at what are you paying per month for your insurance and what are you getting? And are you getting things that you actually need? So I think the availability for businesses like mine is to really be able to, once again, individualize and personalize the attention to what your needs are and meet your needs. And whether that's healthcare, whether that's fitness, or whether that's insurance, it's identifying the need and hopefully supplying the answer to that need and making that person not only happy, but so they tell somebody else. Because we believe that word-to-word referrals and references are gold in this age.
Very true. So how does the back end work? You collect the information, and then does the consumer get information on various insurance companies, or do you send it out for them to contact the consumer?
Well, at that point, it could be either one. It could be what you're looking for. Once again, if we're going to individualize it, if you're looking for just one particular company that can meet your needs that you set out with a price point, then we can have that particular company come out and contact you, or we can have you look at various options that are in the arena that you're looking at. So if you're looking at 3 various choices, once again, how's the point of contact? Are you looking for a phone call? Can we do it over the internet? Do you do it through email? Once again, the key for us, and I think the success has been finding what you need and trying to deliver it in whichever manner works for you.
Okay, so it's not just a cookie cutter, fill out a form and send me a bunch of information that is not personalized or specific for me. That's good to know.
Right, because at that point, you really can just do that on your own and just Google it.
Right.
You know, you're looking for someone to do the work for you, and somebody who probably knows the industry and knows it's not just about price points and it's not just about what's being offered. It's about meeting whatever your needs are.
Sure. So in a business like that, Ron, I would think you need to have a pretty hefty investment in SEO and AdWords and whatnot, so you can stay on the top of searches, right? Because finding you through the internet, people probably wouldn't know, just search for Partners Edge. I'm assuming they're searching for various other topics, and you start to rank pretty high on a lot of those.
Absolutely. And we have not only our internal, but an external SEO team as well. We obliterate the social media. We're doing posts out there, whether it's on auto insurance, personal injury, auto accidents, health insurance. So we're kind of hitting all the social media marketing funnels. And that, once again, from a LinkedIn, which is a kind of B2B operation, to Facebook, which is a B2C or business to customer.
Yeah.
So we're constantly doing it. And it's not just advertising, because once again, everybody advertises. We do kind of content blogs. You know, why is it important to take a picture immediately after an accident? You know, why call your attorney immediately? Those kind of content blogs. So it's informational as well. So we feel that, once again, it's another service add and value add to the customer.
Sure. Okay. So Ron, how would you describe your role in the business? What are you charged with on a daily basis?
Basically, with business development and chief marketing officer, because I've worked with this particular partner in the past, and we had been business associates. So my involvement is really basically very limited too. I've come down on a very kind of specific time frame, looking at the business, looking at strategic opportunities, looking at our opportunities to service that customer, looking at the reputation generated and the quality of our products. Once we kind of have that as a business development model, it really sells itself. So my involvement as a chief marketing officer kind of was really on a very limited, probably finishing up within the next year on that particular role, and then concentrating more on our strategic development.
Okay, good to know. Nice to just kind of slide in and take a look at things and make some big decisions and slide out. That's great.
Well, I guess after 45 some odd years of marketing, it was kind of come in, utilize that expertise, and then just make sure that the company is moving in the direction that will continue to be fruitful and successful.
Sure. What do you see as some of the potential roadblocks to moving in those in the direction that either you or everyone seems to want to move? Are there some industry things that you see coming that could make it challenging, or just challenges in general?
Some of the challenges in general is that the industry is constantly in fluctuation. So if you're slow to make movement in this industry, you'll die, because you'll be moving like a dinosaur. You almost need to be like a fish and swimming through and see whatever the challenges are there, be able to meet them, be able to switch, whether that's on an operational standpoint, marketing, and the strategy to move forward. All those are very changeable and fluctuate in this industry. And the more you stay on top of that, the more you can ensure your success. And I would think coupled with that is your reputation. What's your reputation? Are you a quality provider? We're always guarding against anything or associating with anything that has any activity that might not be of quality and compliance. And in our industry, they're constantly looking at compliance. They're looking at the do not calls. They're looking at spam calls. They're looking at all those kind of compliance issues. And if you're not in those and in that realm, you are going to be fined and you're going to be sought out, and it's going to ruin your business.
Yeah.
So we're a big believer in compliance issues.
Sure, and the ever-changing landscape in that world is hard. So how do you and your team kind of stay ahead and make those difficult decisions to move in the direction that you think through your research that the industry may going? How do you stay ahead on that educationally?
Well, for instance, our chief operating officer, right, when he looks at all the companies and sees who's functioning, who's not functioning, where are they moving, what direction. So even though we're a large industry, he has his pulse on where is the industry going, not just on a daily basis, not just on a monthly basis, or even quarterly basis, but we can look and see where the industry is going. The reason that we survived and many didn't is because we saw the changes in the payday industry, and we're able to adapt to that and make a move towards the insurance verticals as well. So I think that becomes a key on keeping your pulse on not only on the companies, but through social media, this and that, and seeing that the trends, what are the hot trends? Is it solar? Is it sustainable energy right now? Is it putting EV stations up, that are lacking? To taking something completely out of the realm of lead generation, and is pickleball, for instance. Taking something like the fastest growing sport and taking a look at that. So I think it's kind of keeping your finger on the pulse, so to speak, of where the industry is going and how do tangential industries fit into what we do. Yeah. Because as a lead generation, we don't have to limit ourselves to just insurance. We don't have to limit ourselves to legal. We can look at a sport like pickleball and get involved. We can look at other issues and get involved. We could look at ERC, and we were involved with that too, the employee retention credit, which was an opportunity for a time, but we also saw that opportunity was waning as well. So that's a good example of being quick.
Everybody needs leads, right? So if you're handling something that every business, especially small business, is looking for, and so on the business side, on the backside of C2B or however that may work, how does your partnership work? Do you have select partners that get the leads based on the needs of the consumer, or is it open market for that? How does that work on the back end?
Well, we don't do an open market. We are very kind of, if anything, almost OCD when it comes to seeing who we're going to be working with. So we'll do a deep dive into their reputation. They have to give us, for instance, business references, 3 current ones. We want to see their landing pages, their website. How are they generating their customers? Is it through the internet? Is it through phone calls? So we really look at that and do our due diligence before we just basically decide that they're going to be a business associate, because that affects our reputation.
Sure.
If that particular business associate isn't fully functional and compliant, that comes back as a direct reflection on us. So the admin department for the company does a really deep dive on each and every company prior to us then going under contract. And our contract kind of spells things out, that if we see any of activity that we're uncomfortable with, that contract becomes null and void immediately.
Okay, good to know. So what does the future look like? You mentioned, your role may be ending at some point. What's forward looking for Partners Edge?
Right. So even though my role would be ending, my investment opportunity as a business partner would not end, because this is a growth industry. Right. And if you feel comfortable with the players, and we do feel comfortable with our C-level team and the executive team and the team that they're bringing in under them, as well as the operational people, we're very confident that we'll continue to set the standard, not only on the quality, but also being there and looking and identifying tomorrow's needs and then addressing tomorrow's needs for the consumer, whatever that might be.
Right. And who knows what that might be these days, right? Could take a lot of effort. It's good to have some, to be nimble and be able to kind of move where markets are taking you. So that's great. How about some advice for someone that may be thinking of taking a partner stake in a business, or maybe just starting their own? How about some words of wisdom that you can share?
Once again, I can only personalize it to me, and what's worked for me and what I've seen work, over the 40 to 45 years I've been in business. And what works for me is that you better love what you're doing. I love coming to work. I'm 70 years old and I love coming to work. And usually the CEO is dragging most of us out the door and saying, let's just go home. If you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to be successful. So if you're looking at the clock, it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever time it is, you shouldn't be a business owner, and you're not going to be a very good employee either. You better love what you're doing, want to see it successful, and put in the effort and the time. It's not a 5-day, we're always in here on a Saturday or a Sunday. Now we're smart enough to have joined a club, which is right next door. So we know if we're going to go play golf, we're going to see the office right next door. So you might as well stop in, check your emails.
Right.
We also belong to the fitness facility around the corner, because once again, in order to be healthy, we talk about loving the business, but you got to have a balance in your life. And you have to have love in your life. You have to have your children. You have to have your health. So we know that a good employee and a good owner is one that's found that balance, but truly has that devotion and love for whatever they're doing. If not, they'll always be marginal.
That is great advice. Do not be marginal. Ron Greenfield, thank you so much from Partners Edge. We really appreciate you taking the time today, and it was a pleasure learning more about you and the business and your journey as a professional.
Great. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, our pleasure. Take care.